Good afternoon and welcome to a unique episode of The Angry Astronaut. As you probably know, or many of you know, I recently posted a video where I am challenging SpaceX and ULA to what's called the 100K challenge. And if I get to 100,000 subscribers and SpaceX manages to get Starship into orbit successfully, and by successfully I mean a soft landing for the booster on the water. That's it. That's all they have to do there. And for Starship to actually make it around the Earth. It doesn't have to successfully land, just get there and attempt a re-entry. If they manage to do all of that before Vulcan Centaur can actually get to the moon, that is to say, deliver its Peregrine lander to the moon, or that is to say, Astrobotics all the way to the moon, then they win the challenge. And, I lose the challenge if SpaceX manages to pull this off first, and I lose in a big way. That is to say, getting SpaceX fanboy tattooed on my butt. So I knew that this was going to generate a number of comments. A lot of them I thought were going to be pretty angry, pretty rude, etc. But you know what? It's not quite turning out that way. I mean, I like the comments. A lot of them are not very supportive, but at the same time, it's just something that I found very interesting. So I thought I'd share some of these with you. I'm not going to share who is making the comments or anything like that, but it is pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and have a look at one of these real quick. Yes, here's one that I like. Do it, but I don't want to see it. Well, I sympathize there. I really do. But if you don't see it, then how do you know I did it? And that is a sympathy that's shared by other commenters, one of whom said that we need to see proof of this. So yes, I am making a commitment to show this tattoo to the world in a way that's not going to get me demonetized, alongside a copy of that day's newspaper. So we're going to need proof of that tattoo. Well, you're going to get it. And for those of you who don't want to see it, well, I'll give you ample warning that that's going to happen. Okay, here's another one. Sounds like a win-win scenario. 100,000 subscribers are now hoping that you lose. You know what? Believe it or not, there's a part of me that's hoping that I lose as well. I mean, it's going to be an unbelievably exciting event if Starship actually does get into orbit and complete its test successfully before Vulcan Centaur can complete its mission. I mean, that means that Starship's going to be flying in the next few months. That's going to be an amazing thing, to say the least. And I'll be very, very excited right up to the part where I have to make my appointment at the tattoo parlor. Okay, glasses cleaning time. Okay. I don't have your faith in ULA. I see it as a last gasp of a now redundant technology in the age of reuse. They do not have enough emphasis on reuse, not enough innovation. It's simply a matter of time before Starship renders them obsolete. Tory Bruno started as an engineer, but these days he is a typical CEO, not the kind of visionary character with the unflappable drive of Elon. I do admire and respect what they have achieved, but I do, boy, this is a long one, but I do not, oh God, it's incredibly long. Let me just go ahead and address what you've said up to this point. I think that ULA is embracing innovation in a big way. Between smart reuse on the engines, the reusable upper stage, and the various and really varied uses of Centaur 5, and also the fact that they're planning on getting into nuclear thermal propulsion, while SpaceX isn't even talking about that yet, I would say say that they are a very innovative company. Are they as innovative as SpaceX? No, I don't think so. I don't think they quite hold up to that, but still, it's they're a company to be respected, which is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Oh boy, some people wishing me good luck. Some of these folks are just really nice, I have to admit. Thank you, guys. All right, let's see here. What's another one? Oh, are you going to televise the tattooing? Yes. Yes, it will at least be recorded anyway to where it can be significantly edited, so it's not going to get banned from YouTube. But yes, it will be televised, so prepare yourselves. All right, let's see here. Lost my subscription because you clearly side with the left on the Twitter stuff. Really? What the hell did I say in that video that suggested that I'm on the left of the equation? Just because I said that Elon Musk is going to put himself in the political crosshairs doesn't mean that I'm siding with the people who are going to be coming after him. Seriously? Just because I said that I have a problem with him taking on too much by taking on Twitter, give me a break. I mean, he's going to be not only inheriting a very public company and therefore taking on a lot of public attention, but he's also going to have tremendous chaos happening at the company itself. There are plenty of people at that company who don't like him, who don't want to work for him, and he's going to have to replace all those people. And during that time, Twitter is going to be in a state of chaos. No CEO is going to be able to handle all of that bullshit and get through it without being considerably focused on the issue. That's my problem, is he's taking on too much. He was taking on a huge task by trying to make mankind a multiplanetary civilization. Isn't that enough? Now he's taking on an even bigger responsibility. And personally, I think he's overstretching himself. It has nothing to do with my political feelings, obviously on the left. Come on, I dare you to show me anything that indicates that I have endorsed any left-wing candidate, that I support any left-wing politician, or any right-wing politician for that matter. That just pisses me off. So let's just move on, shall we? Boy, I'll tell you, it's tough to find these things. Very well educated people making these comments, not your typical YouTube comments at all. Okay, so here's the thing, and here's what a lot of people are saying right now, or the sympathy that a lot of people have. I think Elon understands that if we don't take this nation back from the people infected with the woke mind... Damn it. I can't believe how humid everything is. I think Elon understands that if we don't take this nation back from the people infected with the woke mind virus, he won't have a free nation from which to launch his rockets. If these damn liberals have their way, Elon will be launching his rockets under a communist flag. Oh wait, they'll just steal his companies and destroy all the progress he's made on behalf of humankind. Elon understands that this is a do-or-die situation, and he's willing to suffer the petty anger of the liberal lunatics if it means preserving the future of the greatest nation on earth. If you have a problem with what I've said here, don't bother with a response. I'm a Marine veteran, and I can see when our nation is under attack. If you're too brainwashed to figure it out for yourself, that's your problem. You see, this is the whole reason that Elon shouldn't have taken control of Twitter. This is the whole reason. Because I'll tell you something. For every one of these kinds of people who are posting here, there's at least one and maybe two or three that are going to vehemently disagree with him. And Elon has put himself in the middle of this whole right versus left argument that has crippled and incapacitated this country for decades and decades with all this damn gridlock. Right versus left, I really don't give a damn. What I do give a damn about is the fact that nothing gets done because of just how intense the rhetoric is and how intense the mutual hatred is. And now Elon Musk has put himself in the middle of this whole debate and this whole raging battle that's going on right now politically. And I think that that is a very bad move for somebody who's planning to make us into a multiplanetary civilization. Because let me tell you something, there are plenty of people on the left who are just as inclined for the human race to become multiplanetary as there are people on the right. Absolutely. Doesn't mean I'm on the left or the right. I'm just telling you that I got friends on both sides, and both sides are very, very excited about making the human species into a multiplanetary civilization, and therein lies the salvation of the human race. Making this into a left versus right political argument is a huge damn mistake. And Elon, you put yourself in the middle of it, and I wish you hadn't. What Vulcan? What BE4? What Peregrine? None exists in a functional state. Statistically, it would be better for you to get the tattoo now and have it removed through some miraculous tear in the space-time continuum. You should win that bet, I think is how that's worded. Okay, what Starship? What booster? What Raptor 2? None of these things are technically operational yet either. We haven't seen the Raptor 2 fly yet, we haven't seen a booster fly yet, and we haven't seen a Starship fly on anything else except 3 Raptor 1s. So yeah, I mean, Starship has definitely proven itself on a lot of levels, but with all the changes that have been made, we just don't have a Starship that is nearly ready enough to go to orbit yet. Now, I think it will be ready soon, and by soon, I'm saying in the next maybe 12 to 18 months, but I do believe that Vulcan has reached a higher level of maturity. That's why I made the bet. And you see, here's another example. Elon has been in the crosshairs of the left for years because Tesla is non-union. White House held an electric car maker conference 2 years ago and invited everybody except Elon. Tesla builds more electric vehicles than anyone and does not get tax breaks for purchasers. Yeah, I agree that it's wrong from a political standpoint for anybody to take a stand against Tesla based on the fact of whether they're union or non-union. I think that that is absolute bullshit. But at the same time, does that mean that everybody on the left is opposed to Tesla? Absolutely not. Do you know where you probably see the most Teslas in the entire United States? California. They're all over the place there. I can speak from experience. They are everywhere. And I really don't think that the only right-wingers in California are the ones buying these things. I think that the left are very much embracing Tesla because it represents the whole reducing greenhouse gases thing, the anti-global warming thing. And by the way, keep in mind, Elon Musk also said that global warming represents the second greatest existential threat to the human race. Only artificial intelligence comes in number 1. Global warming comes in number 2. That should make him a champion for a lot of people on the left wing, regardless of what he thinks about unions. So the fact to think that everybody on the left hates Elon, I think that you're misguided there. I really think that you're off target. And man, there seems to be a lot of this belief out there, and it's just not true. It isn't true. That is one challenge I do not want to see proof of. Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to show proof of it. Otherwise, people won't believe that it actually happened. left or right cheek. Oh my God. Now you see, you know what's going to happen there. Left or right cheek, right? With everything I've been talking about with left or right. Oh my God, put her on the right and I'm going to lose all my left-wing viewers. Put her on the left, I'm going to lose all my right-wing. I can't win. Holy shit, I just realized that. I can't win. Damn. All right. It took me a while to get one here, but this guy rambles, has a very slow voice, and is repetitive. His videos are best viewed at ×2 speed. Actually, ×3 would be more ideal, but ×2 is the max, unfortunately. Last thing anyone should do is subscribe. Once YouTubers get up to 100,000 subscribers, they start putting ads in their video. I mean hard encoded ads, which are the worst kind, and the ones that our ad blockers can't block. So for that reason alone, I don't subscribe. Okay, so, I'm just curious. Do you only watch YouTubers that have fewer than 100,000 subscribers? If that's the case, is that pretty much what you're up to? And let's see, how can I say this repetitively? Are, YouTubers who have more than 100,000 subscribers, are they unworthy of your time? Let me see, how else can I say this repetitively? Are YouTubers who are successful enough to have over 100,000 subscribers unworthy of anybody's time and therefore should not be viewed by anyone, especially at normal speed? Absolutely have to view them at ×2 speed if we view them at all. Let's see, any other repetitive ways for me to say that? You really love ULA, don't you? Are they paying you to promote them or something? How come everyone's forgotten how ULA plotted against SpaceX and badmouthed NASA on multiple occasions? Tory is not a good guy because he's playing nice on Twitter. Is that? Yeah, okay, playing nice on Twitter. Okay. I respect any company that shows any kind of innovation whatsoever, and ULA is definitely demonstrating that they want to embrace reusability and a variety of other innovative things in order to be competitive with SpaceX. SpaceX, of course, inspired this. I'm pretty certain ULA wouldn't have done all of this if it wasn't for SpaceX, and Tory isn't paying me a dime. He doesn't even acknowledge my responses to any of his tweets or anything like that. I think that he's probably a bit too busy. And as far as bad-mouthing SpaceX is concerned, I think that we are being very selective in our memory here, such as the time that Elon Musk said that ULA is a waste of the taxpayers' money. Sure, maybe at the time anyway, he was right about that, or, it could be argued that he's right about that, but that was not only bad-mouthing, it was incredibly public. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have said it, I'm just saying that he doesn't hold the high ground on bad-mouthing anybody and never has. And once again, here we go. And this is why I think the Twitter thing is a problem. Right now, buying Twitter is far more important. We need to push back against left-wing tyranny and censorship. Enough is enough. We can't even call a man these days without getting booted off and canceled by the mob. Once again, I don't take a stand on these issues. I really don't. And yet, Elon is. He definitely is. The fact that he's getting these kinds of comments and getting support from people on this side of the political spectrum means that he's taking a political stand. Like it or not, he just is. And he's going to be blamed for it by other people. There are huge numbers of people all around the world that have a serious problem with this political point of view, and there are tons of people who support it. We don't need returning mankind to the solar system and making us a multiplanetary civilization. We don't need to make this into a damn political debate. We don't need to make this into only right-wingers get to go to Mars, or only left-wingers get to go to Mars. What's your damn political point of view before you get to set foot on Starship? Give me a damn break. We need to establish a point of view on both sides of the political equation, agreeing that going to Mars and making our civilization multiplanetary is absolutely essential, and we don't need the person leading the charge taking any sort of sides on this issue or being embraced by one side and despised by the other. And this whole move with Twitter, as you can see by these comments, is creating this scenario. And that is what bothers me. Okay. On the point of Elon being placed in the left's crosshairs, yes, his life will become more difficult, but remember, he has a team at SpaceX behind him who are working on Starship. They will be focused. None of Elon's companies are one-man operations. That's true. There's no question about that. But I know for a fact from the times that I've been out at Boca Chica that before the launch of every one of those Starship prototypes, SN8 through SN15, we have had Elon on site. He's been out at the launch pad past midnight sometimes with these engineers. He has been laser focused on the success of Starship, in advance of all of these issues. I think that the more distracted that he gets from all of this, the less focused his company is going to be. Elon's personal enthusiasm, his personal fire, his drive to make Starship succeed is what is necessary for Starship to make it to orbit. All of this is absolutely vital. And unless he is laser focused on Starship, it's going to put some delays in the process. I guarantee you, he needs to stay focused on SpaceX and Tesla, I guess. And Twitter, I think, is an unnecessary distraction. Okay. Nobody else who has the power to change free speech stood up for the oppressed, and he did it without free speech. Going to Mars is meaningless. By the way, those conspiracy stories were largely true. Wake up! I don't know. I haven't looked into these stories thoroughly enough. All I know is that there's lots and lots of news agencies that say that they aren't true, and lots of people who say that they are true, and I'm not taking a stand on it at all. I mean, I remember 20 years ago when there were tons and tons of people who said that 9/11 was an inside job, and all these pictures of, 747s carrying explosives on them and things like that. And that all seems to have vanished over time. I mean, I'm not saying that the stuff that Twitter is banning are conspiracy stories. I don't know. I don't really care. And yeah, Elon may very well be right about that. That's not the point. The point is Elon shouldn't be getting into this whole debate. It's just too huge of an issue and too politically charged of a problem for somebody who's trying to get the world behind him on the whole multiplanetary species thing. I mean, he's already working against all the resentment that he has against him for being as rich as he is, as successful as he is. Given all that resentment that's already there, he really shouldn't be engaging in this issue. And this seems to be what the vast majority of the comments are about, are people saying, there are a lot that agree with me, by the way, and thank you very much for your support. On the other side of it, though, there are so many people who are saying that Elon Musk has struck a blow for freedom of speech and, foiled the plots of the left-wing conspiracy. Well, I'll tell you something. Elon shouldn't be getting involved in that argument. He just shouldn't. And not only that, I think he's going to turn people who would otherwise support him against him. And he just shouldn't do that. He's trying to get the support of the whole world and innovators around the planet to support his dreams of a multiplanetary civilization, and he can't do that if he picks a side in this whole damn left versus right conspiracy thing. And I'm sick of it. It's what's been holding this country back for decade after decade, held us up in gridlock in our governmental systems, and I think it endangers the future of private spaceflight as well if this whole thing becomes a left versus right issue. The right supporting private spaceflight, the left opposing private spaceflight. That happens, and private spaceflight goes nowhere. We need the left and the right supporting private spaceflight. This should not be a political issue, and I hope to hell it doesn't become one. So thanks very much for tuning in. I wish I'd found some spicier comments, but I just didn't. You guys are obviously well educated and pretty polite when it comes right down to it. I do appreciate all of that. So until next time, when I have a chance to look up some really rude comments, I urge all of you to stay angry about space.